547, probably. That could be also Lauren. Not Lauren, I mean, Tara.
Director.
There's 9 people.
There we go.
There's Tara. So it doesn't make sense.
Okay, Jane is coming online and we are streaming.
Do you want me to wait until Jane pops out? Or...
We can probably proceed with roll call.
Okay, all right. Good morning, everybody. The time being 9:01, I will call this board meeting of the Coos County Area Transportation District to order. Melissa, will you please call the roll?
Director Harper.
Here.
Director Dovenspike. Director Johnson.
Here.
Director Nelson. Director Taylor.
Here.
Director Clausen. Director Vesey.
Here. Least we've ever had.
Okay, I just want to check in, is phone number ending in 226 or 547 one of the board of directors? Thank you. We do have a quorum. Would you like me to proceed with the advisory committee?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Lauren Morris.
Here.
Cynthia Ramirez. Michael Babcock. Richard Rogers.
Here.
Karen Dubasar. We also have with us Jane Stebbins Council, Kathy Bernhardt with Prairie Public Transit, and Jennifer Boardman, ODOT. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you,
Oh,
everybody.
and Dean Martin, operations. Sorry.
Oh, Dean. We would never forget you. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Melissa, if Director Nelson is not here, do we have to reorder the agenda, or can we keep it as is? Are we expecting her on? Sorry, you're good.
We can keep it as is.
Wonderful. Okay, then we will have no changes to our agenda today, which brings us to item 4, citizen comments on agenda items, limited to 3 minutes per person. Public comment in a meeting is a one-way communication where the public shares input on the record without expecting a dialogue or direct response. Do we have anybody here for a public comment today on an agenda item? We will also have a public comment section for non-agenda items at the end of the meeting, but if you're here for an agenda item, please feel free to unmute yourself and begin.
I'm Mary Rowe. Is it okay if I make my public comment now?
Yes, go right ahead, Mary. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm Mary Rowe. I live in Coos Bay, and I'm a regular rider of CCAT style of ride, as I am 73 years old and physically disabled. I am asking you to not take a specific action again, one that the CCAT board took in June of 2026, as I believe that action was unethical and not in keeping with the purpose of a public transportation district. That purpose being to serve constituents, the community, and riders in a fair and professional manner. Specifically, I am referring to the vote that this board took in June, granting 3 new holidays to drivers and other staff. Allowing 3 new holidays to drivers was, of course, a good thing. CCAT's drivers have demanding, stressful duties, and as a rider who respects their devotion, I am, of course, happy to hear of their getting more holidays. However, one of these holidays, July 3rd, was granted so late in June by this board that riders that had already been scheduled on Dial-A-Ride were canceled. For instance, I had scheduled a ride just 2 weeks in advance for July 3rd, but after your late decision, I was called 9 days before that ride on July 3rd and informed that it was canceled due to your late decision. And there were rides that riders had to medical appointments that were canceled. One was even for kidney dialysis. I do not know if this board was informed before voting that such rides were already scheduled, but certainly you should have been. And if the board was informed, then surely the ethical thing to do would have been to grant the other 2 holidays and to grant July 3rd for future years, but to determine that it was too late to grant July 3rd for 2026 as rides had already been scheduled, a commitment affecting the health of elders and disabled Dial-A-Ride riders. I believe that your decision was unethical and ask that you refrain from making such decisions in the future. And an apology to riders affected and to the community would be nice. Finally, if board members were not informed that rides were already scheduled on the Dial-A-Ride, then I would have to wonder why not. And I would urge board members to familiarize themselves with such CCAT procedures. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, for being here today and making your comment. Do we have anybody else here to make a comment on an agenda item? Seeing no other mics come unmuted.
Shares here.
And wonderful. Thank you, Shira, for being here. I'll wait for her to get connected. Seeing nobody else in the queue for a public comment on an agenda item, board, I will move us to item 5, which is our consent agenda. Within that, today we have our June 8th and our June 15th, 2026 board minutes to approve. We have our financial and balance sheet for May 2026 to approve, and acceptance of our ridership report also as of May 2026, and also ratification and acceptance of our workers' compensation and insurance renewal. Board, do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
I so move. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve our consent agenda as presented. Is there any comments or discussion? Welcome, Shira, as well. Thank you for being here. Hearing nothing, I'll call the question on the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion carries. Thank you. Melissa, I have a question now. Should we reorder the agenda now? Or just keep it as is? Okay, wonderful, thank you. We've already called the roll for that. Board, that moves us to item 7 of old business, which is solicitation, strategic planning. Our update on this, I'll read that. On March 10th, 2026, the district announced a solicitation for proposals to engage qualified consultants tasked with developing a new strategic business plan aimed at enhancing transit services, diversifying funding sources, and modernizing business practices over the next 3 to 5 years. The district received 6 proposals from interested consultants. Director Thompson and Director Johnson were appointed to review the proposals. Our update is our scoring matrix and proposals were sent out to Director Johnson and myself, and we will be completed by August 21st to present in August. Any questions on that? Wonderful. Board, I'll move us on to item B, ordinance governing conduct on district property / transit exclusion. Our background on this: to maintain public transportation services that are orderly, safe, secure, comfortable, and convenient, CCAT issued Ordinance 2-2025 outlining the rules of conduct in transit exclusion a year ago. The ordinance intended to regulate conduct occurring on CCAT vehicles with or upon CCAT facilities and properties and in connection with CCAT's provision of public transportation services. A review of the ordinance and recommendations are hereby made by staff to clarify areas that staff or the public found confusing. Board before us, we have ordinance 20-2, or let me redo that. Ordinance 02-2026. Or do I have a motion to approve the first reading to be by title only? Take a motion from anybody.
Motion.
We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the first reading to be read by title only. Hearing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Wonderful, thank you. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. And then, do we have a quorum of the advisory committee to pass it off to, or should we?
We do not have a quorum, but if the advisory committee would like to make a comment on the ordinance, they may do so at this time.
Any of our advisory committee friends, Chair Morris, do you have any comments?
I just wanted to know, overall or essentially what the change is. I kind of tried to scan through it, but.
Yeah, so the last time we made had this discussion on the ordinance, there was discussion about the prioritization of seating, and we basically reworked that particular section. So it is noted that it is signed, but we took out the reference to bench seats because we do not have bench seats that look to the center of the bus. So we just cleaned up basically that seating. You'll also note that we overall cleaned up with respect to beverages. It needs to meet the upside down test in order to come on board. And then the number of packages and how they are to be stowed, either on your lap or under the seat. It cannot take another seat away from another customer.
Do you have any other questions from advisory committee folks? If not, we will move to our second board motion. I would entertain a motion to move to approve the first reading in title only of ordinance 02-2026 governing conduct on district property / transit exclusion.
I so moved. Sorry.
We have a motion and a second to approve the first reading in title only of ordinance 02-2026 governing conduct on transit or on district property / transit exclusion. Is there any final comments or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Hearing none. The motion is approved, or the ordinance is approved. Is that all? Does it come back for a second, or is that? It will come back for a second reading in August?
Yes.
Thank you. So we will see that again in August. Thank you. Board, that brings us to item C, loan application for Oregon Transportation Bank. On March 11th, 2024, the Board of Directors adopted Resolution 2024-5, affirming the district's dedication to establishing a transit center mobility hub aimed at enhancing accessibility and connectivity for transit users, while also addressing its financial contributions to the project's development and construction. Recognizing that a majority of grant funds operate on a reimbursement basis, the board resolved to secure a loan from the Oregon Transportation Bank to ensure adequate cash flow during the project development phase, with the expectation that the grant reimbursements upon project completion would facilitate the repayment of the loan. A notice regarding the municipality's consideration of entering into the loan was duly published on April 28th, 2026 within the LB-1 budget hearing notice in compliance with section 7 Section 7.3 of the Act, subsequently on June 15th, 2026, the CCAT Board of Directors approved the acceptance of the loan commitment letter. The loan agreement prepared by the Department of Justice is now poised for execution. We have Resolution 2026-5 authorizing into a loan with ODOT before us. We also have our full loan document and our legal opinion from our board counsel. Board, I would take a motion before we enter into any discussion on the resolution. Take that here.
Yes. I like to give them an opportunity to do it, so it isn't always us.
I move to accept resolution 2025-5, authorizing a loan from the Oregon Infrastructure Fund by entering into a loan agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation.
We have a motion and a second to accept resolution 2026-5, authorizing a loan from the Oregon Infrastructure Fund by entering into a loan agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation. Do we have any comments or discussions or questions for Melissa? I think this is like third time it's come back, so should be
Definitely necessary because we don't have control of our money. ODOT is challenging. That's all I'll say.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of accepting resolution or adopting resolution 2026-5, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. No opposition, and the resolution is adopted. Thank you, everybody. Moves us to item 6, Coos Curry STIF Advisory Committee bylaws. The background on this, the STIF advisory committees were established under the Keep Oregon Moving legislation to enhance the effectiveness and equity of transportation services across the state. The advisory committee's primary purpose is to evaluate and prioritize local and regional transit services, ensuring that projects align with community needs and meet eligibility criteria. With the biennium planning cycle for 27 through 29 beginning next quarter, it's imperative we work on establishing bylaws representing a 2-county STIF advisory committee to inform our South Coast STIF 27 through 29 plan. ODOT has reviewed the bylaws against anticipated rule changes and has incorporated some housekeeping changes. Board, we have our bylaw committee changes before us. We do not, as we don't have a full quorum of our advisory committee, I'd again turn to any of our advisory committee friends and colleagues for any comments that they might have. None. Anybody online? Richard, Cynthia? Right, then I'll just give the next steps on this. The 14th or July 14th, so tomorrow through August 4th, we'll accept applications for our Curry County seats and our expiring Coos County seats on our advisory committee. And then at our August 10th meeting, we will appoint our Coos Curry committee members. And then September 14th, our advisory committee will hold their officer elections to elect their officers for the next year. But if there is no further discussion, board, I would take a motion. Adopt bylaws.
I move to adopt the Coos Curry STIF Advisory Committee bylaws.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the Coos Curry STIF Advisory Committee bylaws. Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
I'm gonna abstain.
We have one abstention. The motion is adopted. Thank you. Our planning, I'll read the planning timeline on this. Beginning in September, the Joint Coos Curry Committee will embark on a comprehensive review of transportation service needs across the 2-county region. This process involves evaluating current services and proposed projects and funding requests while actively considering input from the public and stakeholders. Through these efforts, the committee will develop informed recommendations for the qualified entity, which will shape the STIF plan. The culmination of their work will be the submission of the final Coos Curry STIF plan to the Oregon Department of Transportation, ODOT, in January 2027 for approval, reinforcing the commitment to enhancing transportation accessibility and sustainability in the area. No updates on that. That's just the planning timeline. Look forward to our new advisory committee being able to have those conversations in that new capacity. Very exciting. But board, that moves us to item E, annexation of Curry County into the transportation system. We should have at least two of our board members headed to Curry County tomorrow with our general manager and our legal counsel to do our joint meeting with Curry County. Melissa, did you have anything to add on to that?
No, just to confirm, Doug, BC, you're planning on attending, correct?
Can we
Virtually.
probably can't Zoom it if I'm here. Can I come in here and Zoom it?
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll do that.
Did you
Okay.
want me to go down in person? I had understood that it was a Zoom meeting as well. But I can make it work. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, so ideally, Jane, because their audio is not, at least their last audio transmission that I observed was not the best. I think it would be better if you and I were in person.
Okie doke.
And then
I plan on hitting south.
And Phil, you're going to be
In person down,
in person. Awesome. Thank you, Phil.
unless I break down along the way.
Oh,
we'll get a bus to come and get you.
Hopefully the bus will stop.
yeah.
We're
If I
coming
see
to
you
get
at the side of the road, I'll stop by.
And I will also be attending virtually online. That I'll be taking over 100 kids to the Blueberry Farm, so very fun. Any other? I know, tell me about it. Any other comments or questions on annexation? More should come tomorrow, and we'll talk about it in our next meetings add on, but more to come with annexation and all of those conversations. But board, I'll move us to item 8. Which is new business, and our first item under that is item F, procure general manager services. The background, the general manager 5-year contract is up on October 14th, day after my birthday, 2026. The staff recommends the board of directors with support of council conduct a request for proposals to satisfy compliance requirements. Board, I would entertain a motion to procure general manager services through RFP with support of council.
I so move.
We have a motion and a second to procure general manager services through RFP with support of council. Is there any comments or discussion?
Is this going to be a new 5-year contract then?
I would assume so.
It should roll over, right, Melissa?
I think we were told that we needed to go out and do the RFP again, weren't we, by ODOT?
Yes.
Okay.
But
it would be for 5, it would be a 5-year RFP. Or an RFP for 5 years, I should say.
That's for the board to decide.
Oh,
Okay. Those people can make that decision.
I think it should be for 5 years. It's disruptive if we have to make changes more frequently than that.
100% agree.
so Jane, what is the board's process and overall role in this?
Essentially, in this meeting, tell me to go, and then I will draft, as in take the one that we put together in 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and update it for this round of dates and send it out.
Okay.
And then I'm sorry, I don't have any of the timelines written down to read
You're
off
good.
to you, but
That's okay.
timeline happens. Oh, Jennifer may know them. But after a certain amount of time, they can with responses, then we'll go over the responses. Either the board probably should designate a committee to do that with me, and then we'll bring the best candidates to the board, and the board will tell me who they want to interview, and then we'll set up interviews, and then you guys will decide who you want to hire.
Jennifer, did you want to
Sorry?
chime in?
I just wanted to let you know that I personally have been pushing for longer contracts because I am finding nothing within the FTA's guidelines. So they're really, the policy group and the program services is really pushing for these 5-year contracts. However, I would say do a 5 and add 2 1-year extensions on, because that way it gives you some more leeway.
Okay.
So that's my suggestion.
Can do.
Because then you covered your bases and did their 5-year contract, and then
Okay.
yeah.
Wonderful, thank you. And then you said we should probably appoint a committee. Should we do that directly after this motion?
That would help
Or
me.
should
Yeah,
we-
then I would know who to send documents to review and all that.
Okay. Well, board, we have a current motion before us, and then we can move to that. Are there any further comments or questions or anything? All right, hearing none. All in favor of moving to procure general manager services through RFP with support of council, please say aye.
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 Alright, looks like the motion passes unanimously. Thank you. And then who wants to be on a committee?
I do.
I'll be on.
They want to be on.
Loud horn outside. I think Director or Vice Chair BC and myself would be on that general manager committee.
Doug, you gotta check your email for me, okay?
I'll make sure of it.
Okay.
I'll make sure he's looking at his email.
Wouldn't it be good to have somebody from the subcommittee like Lauren if she's interested?
Sure, if you want me to.
I think that'd be a wonderful idea.
Okay.
Do you want to make a motion then? Is that effect?
I'll make a motion to appoint Lauren Morris on the committee as well.
We should make the full motion.
And Doug and VC and Harper Thompson to be on the committee to procure the general manager position with support from Jane. Take that.
It's a great motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. I love that motion. All right. Is there any comments or discussion over the motion to appoint these 3 lovely people to a committee? Hearing none, I will call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I abstain.
You can do that. I vote aye. Any abstention or any, no, you abstained. Any opposition? Hearing none, I think that passes. Thank you so much. I'll make sure he texts his email. He's not gonna get you. You're not getting past me.
Yes. Paul, if you're current.
He'll answer his email if I have anything to do with it. All right, board, thank you so much. That brings us to item 9, which is our general manager's report. Melissa, take it away, please.
Thank you. I've been working on a transportation and growth management grant application. One of the requirements of the grant application is for the board to authorize resolution 2606 that I'm applying for said grant. The purpose of the grant is to help facilitate the unified Coos-Curry transportation system plan. That will include our unified transit master plan, our unified coordinated human services transportation plan, and a look at the sustainable financial strategies to ensure long-term regional transit services. So if are there any questions regarding this resolution 2606?
Board, if there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 26-06. Which is also item or top 10 of your binders.
I so moved.
Gyro seconds, I saw it. Right? She saw it. I saw a piece. I saw two. Wonderful. Okay, we have a motion and a second from Vice Chair BC and Director Nelson on the approval of resolution number 26-06. Is there any further comments or discussion on the resolution before? Thank you. Very much needed. Hope this will get us going in the right direction with this and with everything. Nothing.
Vote on it.
Well, that's wait. Supposed to give people the opportunity. You love to talk. What do you mean? Hearing nothing else, I will call the question on resolution 26-06. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Hearing none. Resolution is adopted. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you. Just as an update, I submitted a request under the carbon reduction grant application program for 2 rapid chargers for buses. With respect to Oregon Health Authority, I've looked through their announcements. I do not see that we were made an award, but I am seeking clarification. As you may recall, we were going after that Oregon Health Authority funding in order to help stand up that powers route. And so just letting you all know that in August, we're going to be bringing powers back to the table for curtailment, assuming that Oregon Health Authority is not going to come through. I'm waiting on ODOT's thumbs up on our proposed revised 5310 and 5311 framework before I do the data entry associated with those grants again. And so we continue to work hard on resource development. That is all of my updates for this month.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. Any board advisory committee, any questions on anything in the general manager's report? Hearing and seeing none. Thank you so much, Melissa, for all of your hard work. Couldn't do it without you. Forward, that will move us on to item 10, just citizen comments on non-agenda items, again, limited to 3 minutes per person. Do we have anybody here for a public comment on a non-agenda item?
Yes, this is Mary Rowe again. I just would like to ask the deadline for advisory board applications because I'm sorry, Chair, but you were talking a little fast and I didn't catch it.
Thank you. Is it August 2nd to come to the meeting on the 10th, Melissa?
We are accepting through August 4th.
Yes.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
I didn't catch that. What did you say?
August 4th.
Thank you.
Any other public comments on non-agenda items? All right. Thank you so much, Mary, for being here. As always, board, we have quite a cluster of next meetings, so let me go through this. We have our joint meeting with Curry County in Gold Beach tomorrow, July 14th, 10 a.m. We have our Connect and Fund Coalition Committee meeting with our wonderful supervisor, Dean, tentatively scheduled for July 20 at 8 to 8:30 a.m. We will connect and have final postings for that at a later date, though. Our hearing on the annexation of Curry County is scheduled for July 30th, 2026 at 9 a.m. And then our regular board of directors meeting, our next regular board of directors meeting will be Monday, August 10th, 2026 at 9 a.m. And our final hearing on the annexation of Curry County will be August 31st, 2026 at 9 a.m. And I will adjourn this meeting at 9:35. Thank you so much for being here, everybody.